All right, well, sometimes van life, and especially YouTube life, throws you a challenge. And we recently faced some of those challenges, and as a result, we have to call an audible on today's episode.
Recently, we lost a lot of footage from our first few episodes of the new season of full-time travel in this self-built Ford Transit camper van. A lot of those moments were us talking to you on camera, but thankfully we still have a lot of B-roll of some really beautiful spots here in North Georgia.
In this video, we're going to take you along as we're chasing waterfalls and visit parks near Toccoa, Georgia. And we're also going to check out Tallulah Gorge, proclaimed to be one of the most spectacular parks in the eastern United States.
We are sitting here in a Panera parking lot in the rain and with construction going on behind us. While we do that, we are actually going to watch our video and we're going to give you commentary as we watch it. We're going to share a little bit more of behind the scenes than we usually share, and we really hope you enjoy it.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and thanks for joining us for yet another adventure.
We find ourselves on another college campus today. Yesterday we left Athens, Georgia, where we checked out the University of Georgia campus. Today we're at Toccoa College. We're here to check out a waterfall.
All right, so this part of the video started out pretty well. When we film, typically we both use our phones, and lately I've also been using my good camera that can take pictures and video. Typically when we talk on camera we use my phone, but thankfully here for some reason we were using Steve's. So this part of the video actually turned out pretty well.
It actually took us quite a bit to walk this quarter mile to the falls because certain somebody likes to stop every 10 feet and take pictures and video of flowers.
What kind of flowers were those, do you think?
I'm going to guess they were rhododendron hydrangeas.
Well, that's not as funny because they actually were rhododendrons.
He shoots, he scores.
Usually he's way off. So we were there at the perfect time when there were rhododendrons and azaleas blooming here, and it was beautiful. There lots of different colors, very pretty as we were walking up to the waterfalls.
Is it rhododendrons or rhododendron?
Rhododendrons. I used to say them wrong. I think I grew up saying them rhododendrons with the M. I think that's right. You can tell us if we're wrong. Anyway, it was very pretty. And I think there was a bench at this park. Steve likes his benches.
Bonus.
And then we got up to the waterfalls, and they were gorgeous. Some of the prettiest waterfalls I think we've seen, and I believe they're actually some of the highest waterfalls east of the Rockies, similar to my favorite waterfalls in New York, Toccoa Falls.
These falls are 186 feet tall. They're one of the tallest falls east of the Mississippi.
What? I thought this was the Mississippi.
So, we got here, we enjoyed the waterfalls, and we had a little bit of a challenge with filming. One of the rules here at the waterfalls is that you're not supposed to go beyond the viewing area down in the rocks where the water is. But there was a couple there doing a photo shoot with a photographer, and they were there for quite some time, basically blocking like the best shot. So we waited and we waited and waited, and we were like, okay, what should we do? Should we just kind of try to shoot around them and just give up? But we kept waiting.
Whoa, there's a snake.
We saw lots of snakes in Georgia. Every single place we went, felt like we saw snakes.
Well, that's a really pretty waterfall. We're here at the perfect time when the azaleas and rhododendrons are blooming. And I'm going to guess this waterfall is Steve approved.
It's a very short walk to the falls.
Yes, it is. And it was $4, $2 a person. I think it was worth it. Very pretty waterfalls. So far, Toccoa gets a good score for local parks.
There are several local parks around here, and this one is one we actually came to last night when we got to the area, and it's perfect because we can park right by the water. We had a nice sunset view last night. We don't have the best cell signal, so we are using our Starlink. Right now, we have it on the standby mode, which is $5 a month, and I think it's just 5 megabytes per second, which is not really fast, but it does help us connect to the internet. We are holding out. We actually have the plan that we had chosen, the 100 gig plan for $50 a month. We're holding out, though, to upgrade to that until we really need it so we can save some money. So that's why we went to the library today.
And now that we reconfigured our solar panel cabling, we can keep our second EcoFlow Delta power unit charged up, which helps us work in the van a little bit longer. Unfortunately, Starlink's $5 standby mode has now been increased to $10 a month for 500 kilobytes per second.
So we have now used it at both levels. We have the $50 plan that we can use when we need it and then go back to the standby. And both, I think, have worked for us pretty well. It is nice that we have been able to spend more time working in the van and not as much at Paneras and libraries. We've really enjoyed being at parks like this. This one was really nice because it was by the water. Something we really liked about Toccoa is there are lots of parks in the area, right in Toccoa and then within short drive times. We really enjoyed these parks, just kind of hanging out, did some cooking at some of them. We loved the water views. There's also some pretty nature in the area, and I got footage of a bluebird for the first time, so that was pretty cool. There was also one we went to in South Carolina. Toccoa is not far from South Carolina, which was kind of unexpected. We didn't realize we were going to be that close, so it was fun to go into another state, check off for the year.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's over the weight limit for this bridge.
So I picked this park just looking at the map. I was clicking around at different parks and saw some pictures, and I thought Steve would really like it because there's a pretty river that runs through with lots of rocks and you like your babbling brooks.
Steve loves his babbling brooks.
And so there were a few different trails. We went on a trail that was along the water here, really pretty.
So I was going to try to get my feet wet, but it's awful slippy in there.
Don't slip.
Very slippy.
Yeah.
Whoa, a big snake! He has a fish! After I dipped my toes in the refreshing water, we saw this amazing snake, and we almost missed it. We were busy kind of taking in the scenery and filming everything, and just kind of happened to, the last second, see this sizable snake dining on what we think was a catfish.
Yeah.
A pretty sizable catfish. It was pretty impressive to watch.
Well, we have been seeing a lot of snakes in Georgia. I was getting pictures or video, but I think it was just of the water, and you seem to be better at seeing the snakes. He all of a sudden saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how we missed this. Because it was sitting there with this, like, big fish in there.
Like, how on earth is that thing going to swallow that fish?
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. We lost quite a bit of footage of daily life here. This was actually our third morning in Toccoa.
your egg sandwich you ordered.
Ah, thank you. Oh, that looks awesome. All right, so then we headed to Tallulah Gorge. That's the whole reason we went to Toccoa. Wanted to check it out, see what it was all about. We'd heard that it's this amazing place with waterfalls and lots of hiking. But Steve said he would do it. It was $10 to get into the park, something we weren't really thrilled about. We went in to get some information about what to do and see in the park, and then got started on a hike. Tallulah Gorge is 2 miles long and nearly 1,000 feet deep. You can hike rim trails to several different outlooks, hike down to an 80-foot high suspension bridge to cross the gorge, or you can try to obtain one of the 100 permits available each day to hike the gorge floor. So this is where you'll start seeing all the stairs.
2005, 2006. I may have lost count, but it's a lot of stairs. And there were quite a few stairs. Of course, going down isn't quite as bad. It's the going back up that's always a challenge. Oh, look. Steve and Audra.
So I had done some research online, and from what I saw, you had to get a permit in order to hike the gorge, part of the gorge, the lower part. And you had to get there at a certain time, and there are only so many permits. When we got there, we realized, oh, the permit is not for us. It's like strenuous hiking. You have to hike through water. So we decided we weren't going to do that. The regular hikes there are strenuous enough. So we made our way to some of the first waterfalls. There was a really cool suspension bridge here. We actually took a lot of time setting up our tripod, trying to get pictures of us on the suspension bridge, which we did, but we've lost them all. And then we had more stairs once we crossed the bridge. And we got down to one of these first waterfalls, and we actually saw people down in the gorge and all these warning signs, like don't go past this point or whatever. And I had thought that when you get a permit, you had to go with a guided tour. So we saw these people down there like, oh, they're not supposed to be in there. So we watched them, and we were just shocked at how many people were down in there. And we don't know if they had a permit or not, but it was definitely interesting to watch, and to watch to see if they were going to wipe out, because it was pretty slippery in there. Probably these waterfalls are the closest we got to. We kept hiking, and I would say for all these stairs we had to climb down and back up, I didn't feel like the payoff was worth it.
Oh yeah, feel the burn.
In case you're wondering, there are 1,099 stairs on this Hurricane Falls loop that we did.
Getting a good workout now. I'm feeling the burn too.
I think with the combination of trails that we chose to do, we probably hiked about 3 miles.
Times like these makes you wonder just how much does an elevator really cost. It's got to be worth it. Yeah, it was quite the workout. My legs were screaming at me, and it was a little bit of a warmer day. Yeah. I would agree. There's a lot of steps for maybe not the greatest payoff.
Well, we've made it to the top, to the south rim. We're going to do a little trail this way where we can see Oceana Falls, head back, and we're going to do a loop and see a lot more falls.
I think the thing for me is that my expectations were very high when we read about how spectacular it's supposed to be. And from most of the spots, most of the overlooks, the waterfalls were so far away that I don't know, it didn't feel very spectacular at all to me. And we have traveled a lot, and we have been to some amazing places that weren't even as hard, hiking wise. So I feel like, it doesn't get the best rating for me. But then Steve did find this awesome looking bench. And he took a nap. If you like waterfalls and like hiking, there are definitely other places that I would recommend above this one. This one was okay, but like I said, we both said it was kind of disappointing in the payoff. And if I hadn't had my telephoto lens, you wouldn't have been able to see the waterfalls as close up as you can here. We have gone to Letchworth State Park in New York that I think is way better than this as far as what you see and how unique that is, the gorge there. amazing views there. We have hiked at other places, Ricketts Glen in Pennsylvania, where I grew up, around the Ithaca, New York area. We also think there are many waterfalls in this area that are more bang for your buck. Oh, this is one of Steve's favorite bits that you've probably seen before.
Everything looks so far away.
Maybe this will be a little controversial with what people think, but I don't know, as far as vans, I would say probably 3 or less vans.
I would agree with that rating. Maybe 3.1.
3.125. So when you start at the visitor center, you start on the north rim and you take those stairs all the way down, or at least that's one of the things you can do, and then back up on the south rim. And then we had to hike around, and to get back to the north rim that way, we actually had to cross a pretty busy road, a high bridge that's above the gorge. So we lost some of that footage, but we crossed the gorge and then we came back the north rim, and there was this dam here that was kind of cool to see. Shows.
Yeah, I think that was maybe one of the most fascinating parts of this hike, was just to kind of think about how we harness the power of water and generate electric from it. Kind of neat.
Yeah, and it kind of blows my mind a little bit, like, what was this all like before they put the dam in?
Right.
But yeah, so there were some pretty views, and then there was mountain laurel blooming, and that was really pretty. That was one of the highlights for me. I love my flowers.
One of the nice things about being here at this time of the year is there is mountain laurel blooming. So pretty.
So we hiked back a little bit of the north rim, and it was pretty hot out, and we hadn't eaten anything, so we actually went back to our van, got a quick bite to eat, and then headed back out to check out a couple of the last overlooks.
What was kind of interesting at this one overlook was that apparently some dude named Carl tight-roped over the gorge. And it was kind of confusing, because I'm like, I wonder if he didn't realize there were trails already, that he could have just walked down the trails. I mean, I know there's a lot of steps, but you think it would at least have been a lot safer than tight roping across.
This is a neat view. We're up so high. We're above the vultures flying around, so that's cool to see. And then directly across, we can actually see the last overlook we got to on the south rim. All right, well, we finished up our hike here today. We're gonna head into the visitor center. They've got some different displays we're gonna check out.
So it was pretty cool to check out the visitor center. Not only was it air conditioned, but it was also neat to kind of learn a little bit about the history of the town.
There were a lot of neat photos on display. I really enjoyed that. And there was more about the tightroper Carl, and he actually came from a tightrope walking family, and some of his family members had died tightrope walking. I am very glad I did not come from a tightrope walking family, because that is not how I would want to die. So it was such a hot day. We had a really nice shady spot here and a pretty decent phone signal, so we decided to stay at the park for a while and do some work.
What? What? You know what's happening? Huh? What's this?
You get to see our kitty on camera for the first time, I think, in this episode, getting some of her tuna juice. She loves her tuna juice. She doesn't like tuna, but she loves her tuna juice. And she also likes cheese.
We are taking advantage of this really nice shady spot here at the park and good phone signals. That's the best we've had in the area. So that, and it's time for a little snack. Compliments of our friends, Gray and Grumpy.
We actually ended up spending quite a few days here in Toccoa, taking advantage of the local Walmart. It was actually pretty noisy at night due to the locals. The teens like to hang out here with their loud trucks for hours on end.
So how many of you can say that you've gone to a thrift store to buy a single fork? We have.
And my question is, how do you lose a fork when you live in 60 square feet? But we managed to do it somehow. So we had to get a new fork.
We even have the receipt to prove it.
So we survived the night last night. It was pretty crazy up until, gosh, after midnight probably. And then this morning, I don't know what in the world woke us up. Was it like a street cleaner or something?
I guess. I don't know.
It's like 6 in the morning, so it wasn't the best night's sleep. But it's a new, beautiful day. The thrift store was right next to Walmart, so that worked out. We now have a fork, so we don't have to share a fork when we're eating. And there you go. Now it's time to get our day started.
So while we were here, we went to this local library a couple times and got some work done.
And it was very friendly staff there. All right, well, last night at Walmart, there were a bunch of kids hanging out again, but thankfully they didn't stay out as late, so I feel like we got decent sleep. And the temperatures have dropped today, so it feels a lot nicer.
Yeah.
We have come back to one of the parks. One of the things we like about this area is there are so many parks. We really have enjoyed going to the different ones around here. Now that we're here, we are taking advantage of the facilities, the bathroom for our lemonade and other things. And it is time to give this guy a haircut. Next time you see us, he won't be quite so fuzzy.
This is where we're going to leave you for this episode. As always, we love hearing from you, so take a moment and drop us a comment below. If you think of any friends or family that might enjoy our content, if you could take a second and share us with them, that would be great. Until next time, we'll see you guys later. Alrighty, well, obviously this was a little bit of a different episode for us. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Obviously we tried to make lemonade out of lemons. Not that kind of lemonade.
Not that kind. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. If you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron by using the link on the screen that we've also included in the video description, along with information about today's adventure and our channel. A special thank you to all our patrons. We appreciate your ongoing support. Thanks for coming along with us on this van life adventure. Please take a second to hit the like button below, leave a comment to let us know you're watching, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget, you can also connect with us and see my photos of the places we visit on our Facebook and Instagram.